Welcome to the AW Confidential podcast. On this episode, I want to talk about dreaming big. In 2018, I created the AW platform. In 2019, my book, A Journey to Becoming the Best Self, was published. In 2022, I began the AW Confidential podcast. My dream has been to build a platform that inspires, empowers, and encourages others to become their best selves. I was always afraid of dreaming big until my purpose became bigger than my fear. My guest today believes in dreaming so big that it scares you. Kareem Grimes is an actor and producer. He has a long list of television and film credits that include Boys in the Hood, Baby Boy, Shepard, For the Love of Jason, and television hits like CBS's SWAT. And currently, he plays Preach in the WB's hit television series All American, one of our favorites. Kareem, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And congratulations on all your success. I know
Thank you.
you're just starting.
Yeah.
So, Kareem, I want to jump right in. You
Yeah.
have talked about dreaming so big that it scares us. Did you
Mhm.
ever imagine you would have the successful career that you have today?
Um, I've always yes.
Awesome.
Um, I think as for me coming up as an actor, you always want to I think everybody wants to be successful in whatever avenue that they take. For me, I've always talked about, prayed, wrote down about just being a working actor, being consistent, but also doing good work on a number one show. I mean, it's still on my vision board, and I've had this vision board since maybe 2013, 14. I've either added stuff, crossed stuff out, added stuff, and it literally says to be on a hit show, number one hit show on TV, and
Wow.
it's on my vision board, and here we are, 2022, some years later, and here we are on the number one hit show on the CW, All American. So yeah.
Now, I'm sure there were roadblocks for you.
Hmm.
What kept you going? Because it's really hard. I mean, sometimes due to limited resources, opportunities, a dream is somewhat of a luxury that a lot of people don't have. So why do you think it's important for us to dream, no matter the age, no matter the roadblocks? What do you think about
Yeah, I
that?
think the dreams fuel you. Because as they say, dreams do come true. It may not be that day, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be, a
That
year,
year?
but I think the dreams fuel you to keep going. And then literally having the belief in yourself and knowing that you're going to make it. I think that's the biggest thing, is that we can dream, but actually believing in yourself and knowing that you're going to make it, as long as you stay the path and you put the work in, you're going to get your opportunity. So it definitely, just for me, it fueled me.
Did you ever
Um,
feel like giving up though?
you know what? I always believe God put you in situations. If he didn't want me to be in this, he would have told me a long time ago. I think it's the entertainment business is a tough business. There's a lot of there's rejection all day, every day.
Creatives across the
Yeah,
board, I think, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. And as an actor, I mean, I've been in situations where back then I'm about to audition. I'm in a waiting room, and you can hear the casting director like, "Yeah, so is Ray J available for the role?" And you looking like, "Oh, this is the same role I'm reading for. What the heck?" You know what I'm saying? And then you got to go up in there and still perform. So there's roadblocks, but I think it's about the process. It's about enjoying the process. If you can enjoy the process, the journey, the journey will be of a learning experience, more of a negative and more like, ah, man, this is not for me. I just truly believed in myself, and I know that God had blessed me with opportunities. And I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is my passion. This is my love. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm supposed to be here. This is what I'm supposed to do. What you talking
So,
about?
you know what's really interesting? So, obviously, you know, I follow you, but I look at your socials and I listen to your interviews, and even talking to you right now, it is so evident. You know, you promote positivity, giving back, gratitude. And one of the things that you do often is promote good health.
Yeah,
So I have two quotes:
yeah,
exercise is a life sentence, and health is wealth. So,
yeah.
how has that positive lifestyle and mindset helped you on this journey? And I know it has.
Yo, it has helped me tremendously. I think, they say when you feel good, you look good. When you look good, you feel good. There's something about that. And being in the entertainment industry, my body is my brand. You have to look good on TV. And I actually got that quote from a good friend of mine, Burrell Wilkes. He says, health is a life sentence, so you better start doing your time, because it is. You know what I mean? Health is wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not healthy, you're not going to be able to enjoy that. You're not going to be here for long.
And
And
I
it's
think it's also important to mention that mental and physical health, right?
absolutely, absolutely. And for me working out helps my physical, but it also helps my mental. I'm able to just be outside and think and, dream and visualize my next steps or my next goals. And just exercise just gives the body, it just rejuvenates the body, it just makes you feel good after you do a walk or some type of workout. You're like, man, all right, I did this. I feel good. All right, let me go on with the rest of
Those
my day.
endorphins, right?
Those endorphins kick in. So for me, that's my time. I call that paying myself. You got to pay yourself first before you can do anything else. And paying yourself for me is physical activity, working out.
How
Paying yourself could be reading, could be meditating, could be yoga, whatever it is. Make sure
Oh,
you pay yourself first.
I like that.
Mhm.
So it's really interesting because, you know, one of the things that I noticed, like I mentioned, is that gratitude. Where do you get
Yeah.
that from?
Um, you know what? I think just my mom, family members, um, just having so much gratitude of just the little things, being able to just wake up. Today somebody didn't wake up. So today somebody opened their eyes and they couldn't see, they couldn't get out of bed and walk. So it's the little things that we have to have so much gratitude for. Just breathing, and being in our right mind in today's world. That right there is enough gratitude for me. So every day I give thanks, and I just have so much gratitude for just life and just being able to do what I do on an everyday basis. So yeah,
I love that.
it's important.
Talking about what you do, I
Mhm.
can't, you know, go on with this interview without asking about All American, your
Yeah.
character. I mean, I've seen it from the beginning,
Mm,
and I've loved the way that Preach, your character, has evolved. And the
mm,
way I would put it is, from a guy who got his respect from the streets to a man who learned to respect himself, be a
mm,
friend to Coop, and a father. That
mm.
evolution of that character,
Yeah.
I want to sort of explore a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
and just find out how has playing, you know, Preach changed you or your life, or what have you learned, because this character, you know, is complicated and
Yeah.
has evolved. So can you give us a little bit of
Yeah.
insight?
Yeah. I think preach is real. I mean, preaches every young brother and sister who may have taken a wrong turn in life and has learned from that, and is now, there's redemption. There is, looking after the little people, or the younger people, and saying, hey, I went this route before, that's not the way to go. this is what can happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think Preach is a very smart individual. He just made some bad decisions, and some of those things are still haunting him, but he means well. He's very loyal. And then I base Preach off of guys that I grew up around, guys that I call OGs that looked after me, that kind of kept me out of trouble. This is me paying homage to those guys that I still keep in contact with, because everybody knows a Preach in their neighborhood, or everybody knows a Preach that they went to school with, and it's just real. I just wanted to make him as authentic as possible. There is a little bit of me in every character that I do, and there is a little bit of me in Preach. I'm from Inglewood, California, born and raised. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles. So I was around gangs, but I never really got involved because of guys that, told me this is not the way to go. So it was very easy for me to be able to take those elements and put that into this character. Preach has definitely changed my life as far as career-wise, because I've been doing this since 1988. Wow. And this particular character, this show has gotten me more recognition from it, gained fans, and just the respect of my peers for the work that I do. And those are things that I've dreamt about, that I've wrote down on my vision board, and they're actually manifesting before my eyes. A big a big piece of it is Leah Daniels Butler, who's the casting director, number one, and then the other one is Nkechi Okoro, who's the showrunner, who I met 10 years prior to getting this role. I actually did her first script for TV for a show that she was on called Bones. It was on Fox, yeah. And I played this young man from Sierra Leone who was an amputee. That was her first script, and that was my introduction to NK. And I went in there and did what I did, and they loved it, and it came out great, and that gained respect from her. And we fast forward, I get this show, she comes on as the showrunner, and I was only supposed to do 1 to 2 episodes. Preach was only supposed to do 1 to 2 episodes, and that's it. And
wow.
Here we are 4 seasons later. Like you said, the evolution of Preach, from this guy from the street who now looks after Coop, and who's now a father, and taking care of his daughter, and those responsibilities that come with that. So to see that is amazing. And they're taking this storyline from a real person who's actually done some time, and who's gotten their life together, and becoming a teacher. Wow. So you're going to see some big things this second half in All American with Preach. And like you said, the evolution just continues to evolve with this character, and you guys are going to be really, really entertained, excited, shocked.
You're killing me right now.
Yeah.
So I know it's it is the job of the writers, but being that you are that character, where would you like to see Preach go? You don't have to tell me where it's going, but where would you like to see him go?
Yeah, without saying too much. I mean,
I know, don't say too much. Just
second half, you're gonna see where Preach is gonna go. Like you're gonna literally see it yourself, and it's going to shock a lot of people. It's gonna shock a lot of people. That's all I can tell you.
Awesome. Okay.
But the evolution, you guys will see even more, and you guys are gonna be blown away. You guys are going to be blown away.
I love this, man. I swear, like this show, you know, the ensemble cast, I mean,
Yeah,
everybody just the chemistry, it's so well written. It's
yeah,
just a great production. And,
yeah,
you know, I'm glad that we have something like this because it's, you know, characters like Preach are real and we
yeah.
need to see that there is evolution. There can be
Mhm.
good after bad. So I
Absolutely.
so I appreciate, you know, I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, I love my craft.
Hmm.
You know, I dream of my dream is to inspire and empower
Hmm.
others.
Hmm.
And I'd like that to be part of my legacy.
Hmm.
You have, you know, I don't want to say an amazing career because you're still building it, but
Hmm.
you know, it continues to grow and you have this platform and you're making an impact. So my question for you is what would you like your legacy to be?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Um, just of service, you
Uh,
know, um, just of service, that I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just to be of service in the capacity of giving back, words of encouragement. Um, yeah, that's what it is for me because I truly believe it's those things that can impact a person, because you're coming from the same background or you've experienced something to say, hey, listen, I come from this. I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth. My family wasn't rich, but we worked, we stayed on the right path, we believed, we set goals, and we start knocking them down, and I think when you come from that aspect and people see that, they can feel that and understand, like, yo, like for real, like, yeah, like this dude really is giving back. Like I'm out there in the streets. This is not a facade. I've been doing it with cameras and without cameras, so it's just about being of service and just encouraging those, because I think, like my man Burrell says, everybody's a mixed bag of nuts. Sometimes we just gotta go in and, take it easy on each other. You know what I'm saying?
he sounds like a good influence. He
No, he
sounds like
is. He is. So, it's yeah, just of service. Just of
oh,
service.
love that.
Yeah.
So I like to end all interviews, and there's so much positivity, you know, in
Mhm.
this conversation. But I like to, you know, just finish with words of encouragement, positive message. And my question for you is what message can you share with those listeners that have not had the courage to pursue their dreams for fear or I say for fear of failure or fear
Mhm.
of change? A lot of us
Yeah.
are afraid of change.
Yeah,
So what words do you have?
I think you have to be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. You know, what you I failed so many times, but I think with failure you learn, and then that's something that you can put in to the next thing that you do. But you shouldn't have any regrets. If we got free will to be able to do what we want to do. So if you want to do that, I say go do it. Don't be afraid. It's okay to fail. It's okay. It's okay. You're gonna fail.
It's
As long
actually
as
good to fail because
it
that's
is
where
good
you
to fail.
that's where the pain comes in, the
Yep.
growth comes in.
That's exactly. So it's okay to fail, but go out there and do it. You don't want to have regrets of coulda, woulda, shoulda. Put the time in. What you put in is what you get out of it. So I always like to say it's like a bank account. The more you deposit into whatever it is that you're doing each and every day, the greater your return will be.
Mhm.
So make sure you deposit something each and every day into that. Whatever your craft is, whatever it is, do something every day to deposit. So when it's time to withdraw, you got a big deposit, a big withdrawal coming because you
Are
put in
you
the
are you a poet? Because you
ah, ah, and you know
oh
it.
my, these words of wisdom are just like flowing. I'm like, where does he get this from?
Yeah, man. That's just what it is. And I think you spend, it doesn't cost anything to smile. I think you spend more energy being angry and being in a negative space. When like I said earlier, the simple fact of you just being able to wake up and open your eyes and say, man, I'm alive, that's enough to put a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is a cherry on top. And I think once we start getting into that mindset with everything that's going on with COVID and the whole nine, once you start to think in that pattern of, I woke up today, I can breathe, I can see, I can smell, I can touch,
I can walk.
Everything else is a cherry on top. I got another day at this. I got another day of being a better version of what I was yesterday. You know, so when you have that mindset, you tend to look at life a lot different.
And I could see that you do see life, just different than a lot of people out there. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful you are a positive light, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more of you. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Absolutely. I love that confidence. You're like, yeah, believe that.
Believe that.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Kareem.
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful to you for sharing your story and that wisdom in a very suave, chill way. I like that.
I appreciate it.
I wish you continued success, and please tell our listeners where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Kareem Grimes, Facebook, Twitter. I think TikTok is Kareem_Grimes.
You're on TikTok? I'm not there yet.
I literally I got on TikTok during quarantine. The fans were asking, so I got on there, and I try to I post a lot of behind the scenes footage from the show. So okay. And some cool sketches that I do, comedy. But yeah, so that's where you can find me at.
And please tell our listeners, when are you guys coming back?
Yeah, so we're back on the air February 21st. All American is back. We also have a spinoff, which is called Homecoming, starring Jeffrey Maya, which is going to be a #1 show. So make sure you guys tune in.
And you can catch all the seasons on Netflix, right?
Yeah, you can catch we got 3 seasons on Netflix right now. I think we're still on Netflix. Yeah, if not,
yes, you are.
You can go to the CW app. It's free to download. If you miss it on Monday, it's the episode goes up at midnight, so you can be able to stream it. So yeah, that's awesome. That's where you can go in and tap in with All American and Homecoming.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here today, taking the time. And thank you, listeners, for joining us on another episode of the AW Confidential Podcast. Talk to you soon.